You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. If you would like to support the AstroMommy Newsletter, there are several ways to do so. Subscribe on Substack, share it with a friend, schedule a reading, check out my family's Etsy shop, Metaphysical Flamingo, or just leave a tip. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. It's not time to give up. Your mission is not yet complete. Daily horoscopes for Wednesday and Thursday, May 10th through the 11th, 2023. Good morning, friends. For the summer, I am offering a special Hellenistic astrology reading for donation only. My summer reading special is a quick 25 to 30 minute reading that I am calling a Hellenistic 5-point reading, where we will go over your big three, your sun, moon, and rising sign complexes, and the two most notable transits that you are in or that are coming up for you this year using Hellenistic techniques. For the past year, I have been studying Hellenistic astrology with Adam Ellenboss. Hellenistic astrology, it turns out, is very different from modern in both philosophy and technique. If you'd like to know more about the differences between modern and Hellenistic astrology, send me an email at astromommyastrology@gmail.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. If you'd like to book a reading using Hellenistic techniques, please email me at astromommyastrology@gmail.com. That way we can schedule your reading via Zoom or over the phone. These readings will start in mid-June and go until mid-August 2023, so please reach out to me now because it will be first come, first served. Okay, let's get into the astrology. Over the next 2 days, it's all about the buildup and layering of energies that are happening right now. First, the moon is building up to her third quarter phase, the closing square to the sun in her lunar cycle. Second, Mars is approaching a trine to Neptune and in opposition to Pluto. And third, Jupiter is getting closer and closer to his ingress into Taurus, where he will square Pluto and Mars. The moon is the closest celestial body to the Earth, and the ancient astrologers believed that every planetary influence had to come through the sublunary sphere in order to be felt or observed. Today and tomorrow, this is very evident in that there is not really any major aspects perfecting between the planets, but the moon is a very busy bee. She makes several aspects on Wednesday and Thursday, all in preparation for what is coming up next. There are so many transits on Wednesday that I feel the best course of action is to pick the biggest ones and focus on those. The most notable aspects happening on Wednesday are the moon's opposition to Mars and then her ingress into Aquarius. Thursday is relatively calm, but Venus and the moon both make aspects to the nodes which are important, and the moon squares Mercury, so we will focus on those for Thursday. Wednesday. The moon on Wednesday is in Capricorn, but by the end of the night will ingress into Aquarius at 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time. While moving through the last 15 degrees of Capricorn, she will make several aspects leading up to her opposition to Mars in Cancer. First, she will square Chiron, trine Uranus, and the Sun in Taurus, and form a semi-square to Saturn. This first series of transits represents hitting some sort of emotional wall where we feel vulnerable or like our ego is bruised, and then having some aha moments that might give us solutions to our current conundrums, but ultimately realizing yet again that forward movement is not quite available to us yet. At 12:37 p.m. Eastern Time, the moon in Capricorn perfects her opposition to Mars in Cancer, symbolizing feeling completely at odds between our emotions and our ability to take action on things. Mars in Cancer really wants to light a match to get things going, but it's like he's trying to light a pack of wet matches, and he feels like making a fire is pertinent to his survival with his own opposition to Pluto that is building. Yet it is just really, really hard to get anything to ignite. Nevertheless, the opposition represents a situation where you feel backed into a corner and you have to make a decision. Unfortunately, you are deciding between two poor choices, the moon in Capricorn being in her detriment and Mars in Cancer in his fall, so it's like choosing the lesser evil. Then, before the moon makes her ingress into Aquarius, she forms two aspects, a sextile to Neptune and a square to Jupiter. This could represent taking some time to escape into something artistic or soothing in some way in order to just get away from the stress for a little while. And with the square to Jupiter, this could indicate overspending, overeating, or overindulging in something just because it makes us feel better. Sometimes it is nice to feel better for a moment because it takes the edge off. Other times it can be wasteful or excessive and actually cause more harm than good. So it's up to you to pick the best course of action that will support your long-term goals. With the North Node in Taurus, it is always a good idea to keep returning to the sentiment of what beautiful, enduring things you are trying to build, create, and solidify in your life. So keep that in mind. The moon makes her ingress into the sign of Aquarius at 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time Wednesday night, and then within about 35 minutes conjoins Pluto retrograde. Every time the moon makes a significant contact with Pluto, I feel like it's our cosmic innards pushing against our cosmic exoskeleton, and at some point the pressure from inside becomes too great and we molt, shed the old husk, and show our new pink fresh shell, only to begin the process of hardening up again. In other words, whenever the moon conjoins Pluto, a little bit of our old self dies and a little bit of our new self is born. You may feel this every month or you may not. It just depends upon your natal chart, of course. So be prepared for a little growth on Wednesday night, early into Thursday morning, as the moon makes her bodily conjunction to Pluto. Thursday. At 12:50 a.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, Venus makes positive aspects to the nodes, a sextile to the North Node, and a trine to the South Node. So this is a harmonious aspect that may act as confirmation that what you are doing in regard to your relationships, sensuality, values, and money is on the right track. Later on in the morning, the moon in Aquarius forms squares to the nodes, creating tension, strife, and stress. It could feel like a fated moment when an action is required of you to pivot, and the moon and the nodes all being in fixed signs, this could create a lot of stress because change is not something that fixed signs regularly want to do. At 5:01 a.m. Eastern Time, the moon forms a quincunx to Venus in Cancer, creating another point of strain in our relationships and environments. It's almost as if Venus's contacts with the nodes and the moon's contacts with the nodes are of two opposite energies, representing again a duality that you may feel you need to make a decision about. At 8:44 a.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, the moon in Aquarius perfects a square to Mercury in Taurus retrograde at 6 degrees 20 minutes of their respective signs. Saturn is also at 6 degrees Pisces 5 minutes, so Mercury and Saturn have entered into a partile sextile by this time, which won't perfect until the 12th, but we will feel these energies on Thursday. The moon and Saturn are not in any aspect, however, being averse to one another, but their shared contact with Mercury makes this square between the moon and Mercury a bit more serious. The moon in a hard aspect to Mercury retrograde could lead to miscommunications, arguments, mishaps, delays, interrupted or faulty communications. Technology could be misbehaving or something, and it can be very frustrating if you have important meetings to attend or documents or paperwork to handle. So this aspect could be very challenging. On the other hand, it could mean an end to something you've been procrastinating and you finally get it done. You finally make the effort to file that paperwork, make that change in your environment, or plant those seeds you've been meaning to plant in your garden. So it could also be a very useful energy as well, because you are inspired to take physical action on something. By the evening on Thursday, the moon makes a semi-square to Neptune in Pisces, indicating a need for rest and relaxation, but it may be hard to come by. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? Your mission is not yet complete. On this card, we see a couple of people talking under a streetlight in what appears to be a downtown setting. Tall buildings reach up around them, and a car drives by in the background. The words, "Your mission is not yet complete," are written across the bottom of the card. The instructions booklet for this card reads, quote, "The great archaeological discovery is yet to be made. Traditionally, the entrance to Shambhala, paradise, has been in Central Asia. More recently, it has been found in Mexico, and right now, it is here. Actually, you are fulfilling a divine mission by following your karmic path. This is an opinion sponsored by entity X-1513, unquote. The biggest message I am receiving from this card is to connect with others and to not give up. You came here with a purpose and for a reason that is totally unique to you, and there is still more to do. So if you have been feeling alone or isolated and a little bit uncertain about your path or mission in life, this card is a reminder that you are on the path and you have a purpose. Believe it or not, feeling out of sorts or like you don't know where to go or what to do are all important parts of the journey to help us achieve self-reflection and insight. The astrology is mirroring this sentiment through Saturn in Pisces, Jupiter about to ingress into Taurus and square Mars and Pluto, and Mars about to oppose Pluto and square Jupiter. Saturn in Pisces may be putting limitations on parts of our lives, but he does bring clarity around those topics. Saturn rules boundaries, and boundaries define, clarify, and modify our environment and mental landscape. Mercury begins his partile sextile to Saturn on Thursday and perfects the aspect on May 12, 2023. So this is a moment of clarity, even in the midst of a Mercury retrograde. Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars all coming together in this major T-square formation, representing stress, crisis, and irrevocable change, feels like we are about to see something get torn down or destroyed, but will actually be for the betterment of ourselves and society. Like how a forest fire wipes out all the trees so that a brand new healthy forest may grow in its place. At first, it feels destructive, but it's actually necessary for new growth, like the Tower card in the tarot. So I feel that this card is a reminder that we are not alone, we have allies, and we are not done. So don't give up, more clarity is on the way. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until Friday, AstroMommy.
Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from Morgan's Tarot, available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the AstroMommy Newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.